And I think there is an opportunity here to come to an agreement on both sides. And I think that's the best I think that's what the American people want.
It was a showdown at the White House this week as House Speaker Kevin McCarthy sat down with President Biden as they negotiated on a spending deal. Joining us now is Julia Manchester, who's a national political reporter at The Hill. Julia, welcome back to Capitol Review. Great to see you. So as Speaker McCarthy was leaving the White House, he said there could be a deal with the president, but could the real issue be with his own party?
Yeah, it was interesting watching Speaker McCarthy walk out of the White House because prior to that meeting, we saw a lot of, I guess, political messages being sent. We saw that the White House was circulating a memo that essentially was calling for Kevin McCarthy to commit to wanting to, prevent the debt ceiling from being hit, for that default to happen. And then, of course, we saw Kevin McCarthy hitting back on Twitter, of all places. So there was a high expectation for a potential stalemate in the meeting. And we know they didn't come to an agreement, but Kevin McCarthy clearly very optimistic. So to your question as to whether the issue is with his party, yeah, that could very much be an issue. And we know that the conservative members of the House Republican caucus have very much shown themselves to be a bit of a thorn in Kevin McCarthy's side early on. We can go back to a few weeks ago during that speaker fight when it took so long for Kevin McCarthy to be voted in as speaker. And I think you're going to see a lot of those members really call for these drastic spending cuts that might be hard for a lot of moderate Republicans to sign on to, or even, obviously Democrats to sign on to. When we talk about defense spending and military spending, those are two areas where they would like to see cuts. So we'll have to see what happens from now. But this is a major test for McCarthy in dealing with members of his own party.
Yeah, and then just reaching across the aisle to Democrats. What do Democrats want out of this?
Yeah, so Democrats don't want nearly as many spending cuts, obviously, as Republicans want. They want a much more watered down version of this. However, we do know that Republicans have said, or McCarthy has said, that Social Security and Medicare will not be touched in these spending cuts. So, that is one potential, I don't want to say concession to Democrats, but something Democrats don't necessarily have to worry about. But I think the battle is going to be over spending cuts, and that really cuts to the ideology of these two sides of the political spectrum. One side obviously thinks this could be solved with cuts to spending, while the other side thinks there are ways around that.
And this battle isn't new. We've seen this argument before, time and time again, and at the last second, things will get figured out. They reach an agreement. Do you foresee that happening now, particularly with this particular session?
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on, how Kevin McCarthy's own caucus deals with this. I think a lot of this falls on the Republicans, because we know that Democrats very much seem unified under the White House. But as we were talking about before, Republicans don't seem as unified. So if Kevin McCarthy can spend the next couple of weeks, months working with his caucus and going back to the White House and, presenting those demands or those concessions, that, we'll have to see where this goes. But it's going to really come down to, is Kevin McCarthy able to whip his caucus together? And, with whatever they come up with, are they going to be able to agree or come to some sort of an agreement with the White House? One thing is for certain, I don't think everyone's going to be happy with any agreement that comes out of this.
All right, Julia Manchester from The Hill, thank you so much for being here and for your time. Really appreciate it.